is an ancient device or weapon that could throw big and heavy objects long distances using great force, for example, stones, spears, or other projectiles. Also, it can be defined as a larger engine used to hurl stones from a single long arm swinging through the vertical plane.
All catapults work using forces. Without them, it can't work, especially ours, which uses the centripetal and the force of springs. The first one, any motion in a curved path, represents an accelerated motion and requires a force directed toward the center of the curvature of the path.
This force is called centripetal, which means center seeking. So if you are swinging a mass on a string, it will require string tension, and the mass will travel off in a tangential straight line. But if the string breaks, the centripetal acceleration can be delivered for the case of circular motion, since the curved path at any point can be extended to a circle.
Also, the force of springs. The force exerted by a spring on objects attached to its ends. It's proportional to the spring's change in length away from its equilibrium length, and it's always directed towards its equilibrium position. Assume one end of a spring is fixed or to a wall or ceiling, and an object pulls or pushes on the other end.
The object exerts a force on the spring and the spring exerts a force on the object. So the force that the spring exerts on the object is in an opposite direction to the displacement of the free end. And the x-axis of the coordinate system is chosen to parallel to the spring, and the equilibrium position of the free end of the spring is at x equal to 0.
Our catapult was built with wooden sticks and rubber bands for its main mechanism and main work, and everything was collected in our houses in order to make it the most eco-friendly possible.
The catapult we're going to make uses elastic potential energy. Stored in a wooden stick as you bend it, and when you let it go, this stored energy is released, converted into energy of motion transferred to the missile. That is the object that is going to be launched, which then flies through the air.
Here we can see that we are applying Newton's law of motion. The first law says that an object will not change its motion unless a force acts on it. The second law states that the force in an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. And the third law establishes that when two objects interact, they apply forces to each other of equal magnitude in opposite directions.
This project involves all the knowledge acquired in class, including specific researches done specifically for this project, because we haven't seen them in class and we won't, which allow us to understand the development of the project. Also, in order to develop the catapult prototype, basic principles of physics were needed. Also, the use of formulas in order to create an appropriate design and check the efficiency of the catapult. Also, it is important to consider the properties of motion and the materials that we will use to make the best possible mechanism.
Using all these formulas will help us to measure the distance the missile is going to travel while being shot by our catapult. Also, we will be able to obtain the velocities and the time that it will take the object to arrive to the floor again.
In the making of this activity, we learn a lot of new things. And well, we already knew that physics is everywhere and at every time, but making something that involves all of these forces was the best way to learn in real life about the topics of the course.